Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we'll be answering your questions that you left on last week's video. We'll also be drawing a winner for the hoodie contest, so stay tuned. Our first question comes from Cassandra Neville, and they're asking, I was hoping to better my French skills, but I'm not doing French immersion. Are there still ways I can get better at French on campus? Well, of course, there's so many different ways that you can go ahead and improve your French on campus, whether that be through FLS classes, so that's French as a second language classes, where it really just starts from the basics of grammar, speaking, and writing, and you can kind of go up throughout your years here at the university and really improve your French. Or if you don't want to take any classes, you can also do like a conversation workshop. If you're already familiar with how to speak, but you want to improve that, you can actually do that within a group setting at the level of your choice. You also can just practice generally on campus because we are a bilingual campus. So you can talk to the staff that work on campus in French and just really just improve your language in that way. There's so many different opportunities to be able to improve your French, not only on campus as well as throughout Ottawa, because again, it's a bilingual city as well as a bilingual campus. Our next question comes from @Megan Thompson, and they're asking, how do we join the clubs? Is there a club week or do we sign up online? So the way in which you sign up for the clubs really depends on the club itself. For example, uOttawa Dance Club, you just sign up through using your student ID, your email, and you also have to pay a certain fee. With that fee, that means you can go ahead and sign up for a number of different dance classes, and then at the end of the year, you perform the dances that you had signed up for. For other clubs, it could simply just be signing up your name and going ahead and going to the general meeting that they have. So it really depends. With that being said, we do also have a club fair that happens at the beginning of the year where you can take a look at all the different clubs that we have here at the university, and they basically show you what they do in terms of events, what their general members do, and you can decide then if you want to go ahead and sign up, and they can run you through the steps of how to join their club. Our next question comes from MK, and they're asking a lot of different questions, so we'll do one by one. How often do the clubs happen per week? So it really depends on the club that you're a part of. Sometimes you're gonna have a club that has general meetings every week, and then maybe they have an event every 2 months. And then sometimes you also have like a uOttawa Dance Club where you can take classes. And if you wanna take 3 classes, then it'll happen 3 times a week. If you wanna take 1 class, it'll happen 1 time a week. So it really depends on the club that you're a part of. Then the next question is it hard to be dedicated to a club and still get good grades on coursework? 100%. It goes for anything, honestly, being able to work, or being able to be a part of a club, taking part in intramurals, etc. It does take some organization, especially depending on how much work you're doing for that club, but it's definitely possible to get good grades as well as be a part of a club. Does a work-study program happen at the same time as the clubs, or is it possible to do both? It is 100% possible to do both. So when you do the work-study program, the idea is that as a student, you are working for the university and they work around your school schedule. So when they work around your school schedule, they also work around your club schedule. So again, if you have a dance class from 7 to 8, you won't get booked for a time to work between 7 and 8. So it works around your schedule, and you're definitely able to do both at the same time. Our next question comes from Daniel, and they're asking, what are the required steps to start a brand new club at the university? So one major step that you need is to have 25 signatures from students at the university supporting the creation of the club. Otherwise, you also need to make sure that club doesn't already exist. Make sure you have a constitution, make sure you have a description for the club. You have all of the steps laid out on this website for how to create a club here at the university. Our next question comes from Christina Blake, and they're asking, are intramural sports available all year round, and what kind of intramural sports teams are there? So intramural sports are offered in the fall semester and then the winter semester. In terms of the type of sports, you will see it depends on the year. Right now we are following COVID-19 regulations, so that means that everything is virtual. So we have esports. So you can go ahead, grab your PS4 and play some NHL. We also have virtual activities if gaming is not your thing, where you can go ahead and play bingo or have a trivia night. So those are what you can do right from your home. In terms of a regular year, you'll see different sports such as volleyball, basketball, ultimate frisbee, hockey, and you can go ahead, make a team or be put on a random team and play against other students at the university. Our next question comes from Jason Chow, and they're asking, what are the requirements / experience needed, if any, to be able to work as a student ambassador? So in terms of experience, you don't necessarily need any. In terms of requirements, it's not mandatory that you're bilingual, but it is an asset to be bilingual. In terms of some skills that you might need, it's definitely communication skills. So a lot of the job is communicating like I'm doing right now with you or the camera, and being able to communicate your thoughts effectively, being able to kind of make the information very clear to prospective students about the program that they're interested or about the experience that they're interested. You also have to have a willingness to learn, because it is a lot of information, but it is a lot of fun to also convey that information, and being able to tell a student about why they could have so much fun here at the University of Ottawa and all the experiences that they can participate in here at the University of Ottawa. So that's kind of what we need in terms of being an ambassador. All I can say that it is a very rewarding job, and I have loved every second of it. Our last question comes from Madeline Fenn, and they're asking, if you take the CSL class, what other kinds of opportunities are available? Are they assigned, or are you able to choose a volunteer placement that is relevant to your interest? So with the CSL placement, you are able to choose whichever placement you'd like that surrounds around the topic of your class. For example, you could have Awesome, where you work with kids on the spectrum, or you can be a lunch duty supervisor, where you work within a school. So you can choose between the two. As long as it still surrounds around the topic of your class, you're good to choose whichever one. You also can go ahead and possibly pitch another volunteer placement, as long as, again, it still surrounds around the topic of your class. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the winner of the hoodie contest is, drum roll please, Cassandra Neville! So Cassandra, can you please send us a DM on Instagram or on Facebook so that we can go ahead and send you your hoodie. We'll also be leaving a comment by your comment on last week's video. And that's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching Future GGs. If you have any more questions, please feel free to message us on Facebook or Instagram, and we'll be happy to answer all of your questions. Stay tuned for our next YouTube video and our next hoodie contest. Until then, bye Future GGs.